Okay, crafty people, are you ready for block number 7 of the 2022 Riley Blake Designs Block Challenge? Because I am ready. I'm done resting, I'm ready to get sewing. This block is called On Point Hourglass and it's designed by Melissa Mortenson. I decided to make this block pretty scrappy, so I have a few different fabrics here for my E and F pieces, and they all have their diagonal lines marked already. I did make one big change to this block. Because I'm using scrap fabric, I don't want a lot of waste, and I definitely don't want an extra hourglass block hanging around. So for my A and B pieces, I cut 4.5-inch squares, and then I cut them in half diagonally. I'll just have to make sure that once I've sewn the block together that I trim it down to the correct size so everything still works out well. I'm going to start with my hourglass block. I'm going to match my triangles right sides together, and then I'm going to sew from this right angle down. I could sew from the point to the right angle, but then this tends to get sucked into my machine and make a mess. So from the right angle down. Next, I'm going to match my E and D pieces right sides together and make some half square triangle units. And you will probably notice I had to piece together a little bit of fabric to make this the right size. But you know what? I don't mind. It gives it character. And then last but not least, I'm going to use my F and C pieces to make some flying geese units. I'm going to take my F piece and match it right sides together with my C piece so that the diagonal line is pointing from the bottom left upwards towards the center. And unlike my half square triangle units, I'm going to sew directly on this line. My half square triangles are pressed and squared up, and I can set them aside for now. The final step for my hourglass block is to simply sew these two halves together. And I've pressed towards the dark on both pieces, so I'll be able to nest the seam nice and neatly. And then finally for my flying geese units, I just have to add my second piece. So these pieces are going to be going from the upper middle down to the lower right. And I forgot to mention, I got some bonus half square triangles by marking some lines a ½ inch from the original line. So up here, a ½ inch, and then sewing on that line too. And then I can cut them out and trim them down to all be 2 inches. And I just love half square triangles this size. They're so cute. My hourglass block is pressed and trimmed down to the right size with very minimal waste. I've got my 4 scrappy flying geese units and my 4 half square triangle units, and I'm ready to put it all together. I'm going to sew my final seams off camera, and then I'll see you in a minute with the final block. Block number 7 is done, and I think it's a success. I like it. I really enjoyed going scrappy with this one. I think it turned out well, and I even like this weird random seam right here. It gives it a little extra personality. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again real soon. Okay, bye! See you next week!